Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with news from Haiti. Gasping for air, patients in Haiti infected with the coronavirus are dying in ambulances after being unable to find a hospital to admit them. The sharp rise in COVID-19 cases and deaths in poverty-stricken Haiti is not only placing a strain on an already weak health system, it has led to a demand for ramped-up international support, the head of the World Health Organization's America's office said Wednesday. After more than a year of reporting few cases, Haiti is experiencing a deadly wave of infections after detecting two highly contagious variants of the virus, one first found in the United Kingdom and the other in Brazil. With still no access to COVID-19 vaccines, Haitians are panicking as hospitalizations have spiked, the price of oxygen has skyrocketed, and the virus has killed several notable personalities in recent times, among them a former senator, a former president of Elections Commission, a former coordinator of the National Disaster and Emergency Preparedness Office, and the current head of the Pension Agency. Moving on with the news from Argentina. Argentina will begin to produce the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine locally after test batches from the South American country passed quality tests conducted by Russia's Gamaleya Institute, Health Minister Carla Vizzuti said on Wednesday. In April, Argentine firm Laboratorios Richmond produced test batches of the vaccine with plans to scale up once Russia had carried out quality inspections. Argentina has spearheaded use of the Russian vaccine in the region. The announcement comes as Argentina battles a harsh second wave of COVID-19 infections. The virus has left 78,733 dead and 3.8 million infected in Argentina since the start of the pandemic last year. And now for some more news. Police in Nicaragua has placed opposition presidential hopeful Cristiana Chamorro under house arrest. Prosecutors have accused Ms. Chamorro of money laundering, which she denies, and demand she be barred from running in November's election. Ms. Chamorro is seen by many in the opposition as their best hope of defeating President Daniel Ortega, who is expected to run for a fifth term. Her mother defeated Mr. Ortega in the 1990 presidential poll. The arrest is the latest in a series of measures which the opposition says are aimed at crushing its chances of defeating the government in the upcoming election. The 67-year-old journalist comes from one of Nicaragua's most influential families. On Tuesday, she announced she would seek to become the presidential candidate for the opposition Citizens Alliance. The alliance wants to field one single name in the hope of defeating Mr. Ortega. Shortly after Ms. Chamorro's announcement, prosecutors accused her of abusive management. And finally, an update on the ongoing Colombian protest. Thousands of Colombians took to the streets again on Wednesday amid a deadlock in talks between the government and leaders of anti-government protests that are stretching into their second month. Mass demonstrations were sparked at the end of April against a now withdrawn tax reform proposed by President Ivan Duque's government, but they have continued with protesters now demanding a basic income, opportunities for young people, and an end to police violence. An umbrella national strike committee made up of unions, student groups, and other civil society organizations is currently in discussion with the government. The government said protest leaders need to condemn roadblocks that have caused shortages around the country and hit exports of coffee, coal, and other products, adding the point was non-negotiable. The committee has said it does not have sway over all the protesters. While protesters count the withdrawal of tax and health reforms and the resignation of the former finance minister among their victories, they plan to keep marching to force more concessions from the government. Security forces have gradually lifted some blockades, but 38 remained. The death toll related to the protest remains unclear. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining.